Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today's video is a week in my life. This is from a couple weeks ago, I think the week right before Easter. This one's pretty long, but I will just say at the beginning there is a lot of cat footage in this video, not just of Marley, but my neighbor's cat makes an appearance, and then 3 other cats. So if you like the cat footage, this one has plenty of it. So I'm just hanging out with Marley, having my coffee while John's still sleeping. First thing I do usually is clean every morning. It's never ending. I noticed it was a really nice day though, so I thought I would be able to hang the sheets out on the line, which is my favorite thing ever. They just smell so good. So I put the dishes away from the day before, went upstairs and took the sheets and stuff off the bed. John was actually going away on this day, so he takes his pillows with him, but he has these Jurassic Park pillowcases that he uses when he goes away, so I put those pillowcases on for him, and then I started doing more dishes. I had to empty out all of these reusable K-cups and get them washed so I could refill them. I usually just try to do a whole bunch at one time. And then the sheets were done by that time, so I was able to put those out on the line. I think John might have actually hung them out on this day though. And then I just sat down to finish my coffee to make myself a little list of everything I wanted to do that day, which one of them was to clean the fridge because there was a bunch of containers in there with different like meals and things. So I always try to be like super mindful of that because I hate wasting food. So I was figuring that out, and then I made myself some toast, and I found some egg yolk in there from a couple of days before that. It's not like real egg yolk. It's just stuff that I make that tastes like egg yolk. It's like, I don't know, it's not that many ingredients really, but this uses stuff called black salt and it makes it taste like egg yolk. So that's what that stuff on the top is. Anyway, so I just had that with some toast. It's one of my like favorite things. It's like comfort food, I guess you could say. So I took stock of all the vegetables that I had in the fridge and cut everything up and put it in a container to eat with dip. Raw vegetables are like one of my favorite things. So this is still that same dip from the vintage video I posted a couple weeks ago. I've been making it. I've probably made it 5 times now since I originally made the video. I don't think I've made hummus since I initially made that, but I'll get sick of it eventually, I'm sure. So then I just kind of took stock of everything that was in there and made a plan to use everything. So I had made a big pot of chili, I think 2 days before in the crock pot. So I was just finishing the bowl that I couldn't finish the day before, but I found some sour cream in there, so I used that, and then I had some grated cheese in there that I figured I would put on top to get that used up as well. I also had some of these blue corn tortilla chips that are also so good. I love chili so much. It's so good. Before I was a vegan, I actually didn't like beans, which is crazy to me now because we eat beans pretty much every day. So while Marley was distracted sleeping upstairs, I thought this would be a good time to wash the blankets that she uses and gets full of her fur. So I did that, and then while I was downstairs putting the laundry in, I decided to pack food for John to take with him. He works from home, but like he was working during the day. So I just keep this bin here with a bunch of things that he takes with him. So he usually takes his own coffee with him and sugar and stuff. That way he doesn't have to like worry about the coffee situation. But yeah, so he usually just also takes like easy food to prepare while he's there. So whether it's like convenience food like this soup, or I'll like make him stuff. So I was just getting that all gathered because he was leaving basically as soon as he got off work. And then I was filling up all of the K-cups that had dried, and then I was going to fill like the coffee containers and sugar and stevia and all that. And then once I got that done, I had I think it was like 2 or 3 bananas that needed, I just wanted to put them in a container so that I could make banana bread with them. And while I was downstairs in our little grocery area, I found these gluten-free cookies. You just add, well, I didn't add the egg to it, obviously, but you just add like nut butter. They're pretty good. We've had them before. So I decided to make those. And then after I got them all made, I noticed on the box I could have actually made banana bread and used those bananas with the cookie mix, but I didn't know, so I just quickly made the cookies, and then I realized after, but that's okay. I do end up making banana bread with it later, so generally I spend pretty much like half the day cleaning usually, and then in the afternoon, like around 2, so I guess maybe more than half the day is when I'll like sit down and take a break. I like to have tea or coffee during that time, so just making myself a decaf. I typically don't drink caffeine though after 12. Occasionally I will, but for the most part I don't, because I already have a hard time sleeping. So I asked John while I was downstairs, because that's where he works, while I was switching the laundry, if he wanted a coffee. So he did, so I'm making him one as well. And usually I put this like flavored creamer just in decaf. I don't like flavored coffee in the morning. It's just, I don't know, I need flavored coffee in the morning. This is also usually the time when Marley wakes up, around 1:30, between probably like 1:30 and 3. So I usually struggle to get her to even like eat food. She'll just sit at the top of the stairs and cry, like to let us know she's awake. But I usually just put her food on the stairs, and then you have to like just not be there. Then she'll wait until nobody's like watching her or around, and then she'll start eating. So cats are so particular about everything. But my cookies were done, which they're so good. I don't have any cookie sheets, so I just use these pizza pans like with the holes in it. So I have to put tinfoil down so that it doesn't like go through the holes. But I wanted to get those made early so that I could pack some for John to take with him. But usually in the afternoon when I'm having my coffee is when I'll watch like General Hospital or sometimes Dynasty, and I'm really looking real satisfied after her meal. But lots of times I'll fold laundry or something while I'm doing that. And then it's kind of like before I have to make dinner. So sometimes I'll just watch one episode, but sometimes I'll watch 2 or something. Just depends on what I have to do. And of course, Marley came up and noticed that her blankets were not there. She did not like that. So then it was time for John to leave, so I had all of his food in a grocery bag by the door, and then when he opened the door, our neighbor's cat was there, and he like jumped right up into John's arms, and so of course John was like, hey, the cat's out here. So of course I had to go out. He's so cute. John said he is pretty sure his name is Loki, but I'm not 100% sure, but he's so sweet. He has such a unique pattern as well. It's really hard to fully capture it though, because he has so much energy. He's always running around, but he almost has like stripes, like perfectly symmetrical stripes on his back going like down, but then also across. I tried to like slow this clip down so you could kind of see a little bit, and then his sides, like each side looks identical. It might not be because you're only seeing one at a time, but I don't know, it's just very unique looking, but it's almost so perfectly symmetrical. I don't think I've ever seen that on a cat before. He's so cute though. It was actually, even though it was a nice day, it was still a little bit chilly out, and I was just out there in a t-shirt because it's just what I was wearing in the house. But I was sitting on the step for the longest time just hanging out with him, but then eventually I had to go back in because I was starting to get really cold. So for dinner that night, I was just heating up some leftover fried rice from a couple of nights prior that I had, and I just made a couple of spring rolls and some of this kind of like faux pineapple chicken. It was quite good, but it wasn't like enough rice to really do anything with, so I was like, oh, I'll just eat that tonight. And then I sometimes I don't watch General Hospital every day, so they build up. So I had another one that I could watch, so I did that. And Family Feud comes on right before, and for some reason sometimes it like starts recording Family Feud like before it's over. I don't know why, but anyway, after I watched that, I went upstairs. I was actually so excited. I have to get this pink blanket washed at some point, but it's really hard to get this one washed because she's always on it. I was so excited because I wanted to do some scrapbooking with these like Polaroid style film. So I've had this one for a few years. It prints out like square Polaroid style film. And for Christmas, John gave me the mini version and then also the wide version. No, I still hadn't even opened them, even though it was like a couple of months. But one of my goals for 2024 is to get all of my scrapbooks caught up. So, yeah, anyway, I have like this stuff and I got a bunch of films. So I was like, oh, I should do this tonight. This is so fun. I should just put on an old movie. So I was taking stock of everything that I had, getting everything out of the boxes, but I didn't think about the fact that I was going to have to charge them before I could use them. I do like traditional scrapbooking too. I have a bunch of supplies in these bins here, and that box has a bunch of printed photos from like years ago. I haven't been able to scrapbook since my mom passed away in 2020. Well, I guess she was sick in 2019, so I didn't do it then either. I don't really know why exactly, but it just makes me sad when I think about doing it. So, but I want to get over that this year. So some of you probably remember when I was buying these old style photo albums, like from the 70s, in some of my thrift hauls. And the reason I was wanting to get these is because I was wanting to do the Polaroids in these books and then just do the traditional scrapbooking. So I thought if I started with the Polaroids, then I would like maybe get over my mental stuff happening and I'd be able to get to the other stuff. So I have 3 of these ones. I like them with the black pages because I feel like the white border on the Polaroid style will like stand out. So these are the traditional like 12 by 12 scrapbooks that I already have done, but I think I only have done to like 2018, so I'm like years behind. So my goal is this year to hopefully get that all caught up, and it's one of those things that like I think about a lot. I was like, oh, you should really get that done. So it's sort of this weird thing that's in my head all the time. And then I have a bunch of, old style photo albums with pictures from like when I was really young. And then I do also have this Polaroid camera, which is like a remake of one of their cameras from the 70s, which I actually also own. The Polaroid film is a little bit more expensive though than the Instax film, and what these are is actually just printers, so you're just printing it from your phone, which is nice because then the photo is like good and you can kind of just pick. I think of it as almost like the highlight reel, kind of like people post on social media kind of like the highlights. That's basically what I kind of want to do, just print out like a few photos on these Polaroid style, put them in the album, so it's kind of just like the highlight, because it works out to about $1 per photo, which is kind of expensive, I guess, but I don't really have any other expensive hobbies, so that's fine. But I also just really enjoy scrapbooking as well, except that I haven't for a few years, but I will be happy when I get all caught up. So I kind of decided that I would start doing the Polaroid photos from when we moved into this house, so it's kind of like a new chapter in life. So we moved in July of 2021, so I have 2 bigger albums that are and then one that's kind of like half the size. I think the 2 bigger ones have 40 pages each, so I thought I could just do one per year, and then I would use the smaller one to do like 2021 because it's like only halfway through. So But alas, I have to get them charged. Of course, Marley was doing her cat thing and felt like she needed to be involved in what was going on. Cats are just so funny. Like, they have to be involved in everything, except if it's like something you want them to do, then there's no way that they're gonna get involved. So I got everything charging. I happened to have a power bar that was kind of behind this bookshelf I'm using as a TV stand. So I just got them charging. It was, I want to say it was late, but it was probably only like 7:30 or 8 o'clock at this point. But I didn't know what else to do. So I just thought, well, I should just go and get in bed and read or something. So I turned on my salt lamp, and the book that I've been reading is this Bob Newhart book. I love reading like biographies, specifically from like kind of old Hollywood people. I find it really interesting. This book's been really funny so far, and it's making me want to watch his show. I don't know if it was called Newhart or it was the Bob Newhart show, because there's a couple different shows that he had. But the one that I'm thinking about is where they own the inn. It's been a really long time since I watched it, like probably since it was on TV. But I can't remember if that one was called Newhart or the Bob Newhart show. So I'm leaning towards Newhart, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, yeah, it's making me want to watch that show real bad. So I don't know if I feel like it's not streaming anywhere because I haven't seen it, but I don't know. Marley is one of the most antsy cats I've ever met. Like, she will pace around the bed for sometimes upwards of an hour just before she'll lay down, or she'll finally lay down and then maybe you move like an inch and then she like gets up and does it all over again. Anyway, she eventually laid down, so now it's the next morning. We're doing our usual routine where I come back upstairs with my coffee and get back in bed so she can just lay down and be her chill self. She's such an odd cat. Usually every cat I've ever had has been very like, feed me breakfast, but she never asks for food, even when she wakes up in the afternoon. Sometimes I have to like kind of force her to eat. So on this morning after I had my coffee, I decorated for Easter, which you would have already seen. And I just did like normal cleaning and stuff, but I also gathered up all of the donations because I've been decluttering a lot, and I decluttered my closet I think the week before, so I got all of that downstairs so we could put it in the car. John was coming over for dinner every Friday night. We usually watch a classic movie and have like a nice dinner. So lately I've been making pasta, so I made this Cajun pasta, which is really good. I don't use a recipe or anything, I just kind of wing it, but it had tofu in it instead of like chicken, and I used some vegan sausage in there, and it was really good. And we watched, I didn't show it because we just watched a recording from TCM, but we watched Rear Window, Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly, so good. It was actually John's first time watching it though, but I knew that he would love it. But during the movie, I was actually so tired. I was like falling asleep almost. So pretty much as soon as the movie was over, John had to go back to where he was staying, and I just decided to go get in bed. I can't remember if I read or not, or if I just went to sleep pretty soon after that, but I was definitely really tired. So on Saturday morning when I woke up, unfortunately, I was not feeling that great. I didn't have like a full-blown migraine, but I was feeling like it could turn into a full-blown migraine. And we had this really fun day planned, but knowing how I felt, it was going to be a lot of driving, and I get car sick pretty easily anyway, like on a good day. So I texted John. I was like, I don't think that I should go anywhere because I'm not feeling that great. Luckily, it did not turn into a full-blown migraine, but it probably would have if I tried to drive in the car for like 2 hours. So, yeah, I was just kind of like drinking my coffee. I listen to, sometimes I listen to these pain meditations. I took pain medication as well, but I find sometimes that they can help it not turn into a migraine. Maybe it's just in my head. I don't think it is though. So I don't know. It works. Even if it is in my head, I guess it works. So I was just kind of chilling for a while. They're actually like 3 hours long. So sometimes I'll just put that on, like lay down with my eyes closed and just hope for the best. But I was feeling semi okay. So John was going to come over and we were going to watch a movie. So we're going to watch that in the basement. So I went downstairs to like tidy up a little. If you're new here, this is our basement. I don't show it that much, but I did film a video of our basement. Like it's probably been like 2 years now maybe, but it's very 70s. The 70s couch that we got secondhand. And then I don't know how much I've shown these, but I did these pictures of our cats like quite a few years ago where they like take a photo of your cat and then make it into these portraits. And this is Marley's sister Dylan, who passed away. Actually, like she passed away the week we were closing on the house. It was like the greatest time of her life and like the saddest at the same time, but she had quite the personality. So when I look at her photo, it's like she got dressed up for the photo. Like it doesn't look to me like it's like superimposed photo. It's like she's standing there dressed up like that. But anyway, our basement's like, this couch is really comfortable and we have this big TV down there. We do have like a smaller tube TV on a vintage TV stand that we use sometimes too, because this TV is too new to like hook a VCR up to. We have to get this special cord. So John thought that he had a cord that would work, but it didn't end up working. So we usually just watch VHS on the smaller TV. But one of the things we were planning on doing that day was going to the movies. So I had all these candy in my purse to take with us. I was just going to have some Skittles that I just put in a bag. But so since we were going to be watching a movie, I just put all of that down there. So again, I made more dip because there wasn't that much there from like the day before. Anyway, I made like another thing of dip because I was just snacking on vegetables because I was really hungry at this point. But John went to Subway before he came over because I definitely didn't feel like cooking. So he got some vegan ham and turkey. He also brought me a Gatorade, which I find helpful when I have a headache. So yeah. He also brought a bag of these ketchup chips, which I've actually heard is not like a flavor in the US. And I know most of you watching are from the US. And so we were watching a Bond movie. I keep wanting to say a Roger Moore one, but it's not Roger Moore. It's the very last one before Pierce took over. So we watched that one and ate our food, and then we ended up watching another one, the first one with Pierce. I've actually never seen any of the newer ones, but John like was excited to watch the 90s ones with Pierce because he said he really liked them. Marley came down too, which was so cute, and she got up on my lap, which she doesn't do that very often. She's more of like a pet me, but I don't want to be like super close to you. She's kind of weird like that. She doesn't like being picked up either. But we started years ago now trying to watch all of the Bond movies, so we're getting close, but it's taken years. I don't know why. We had a big period where we didn't watch any, I guess. But anyway, that night, obviously John had to go back to where he was, but I was so grateful that he was close by because sometimes he's far away, and so he wouldn't have been able to come over and like bring me the Gatorade or some food. So I just had a bowl of cereal for dinner because I wasn't that hungry after eating that sub. But I went upstairs in my office. I was hanging out with Marley. I thought that I might want to do the pictures that night. I was thinking, well, maybe I could do that. But ultimately, I just decided not to. I was like, I should probably just go lay down. But I realized it was still a little early. Like I didn't want to go to sleep too early. So I I don't remember what I did because I didn't film anything. I'm just petting Marley, but I do show the time after I'm done petting her. So I must have stayed up for a little while. Maybe I watched some Dynasty or something in there. But part of the reason I was feeling sick is because I got a bad night's sleep the night before, which is one of my migraine triggers. So yeah, I can see it's 9:30. I probably was trying to stay up until 9 or 9:30. So anyway, this is how I know Marley's ready for bed. She's always laying on the yellow blanket, always. Just waiting, like it's time for bed. So anyway, she's probably wondering why I was up so late. So one of the reasons that I didn't get a good night's sleep is because of her. She was crying all night and waking me up, and so I was debating what I should do. So I have these earplugs, so I thought maybe I should sleep with earplugs in so that if she does do that again, it won't wake me up. But normally how I fall asleep is I listen to ASMR videos and I'm able to fall asleep. It's my favorite Southern ASMR sounds. So if I put the earplugs in, I can't really do that. So I was debating what I should do. I thought, well, if I put the earplugs in, I guess I could just read until I fall asleep. And she's crying not because there's anything wrong, but it's just because she wants somebody to be awake with her. So then I thought maybe I should try to tire her out a little bit. So I have this little laser pointer. As soon as she hears this keychain sound, she usually comes running upstairs. I don't actually play with it with her that much anymore though, because she's about to turn 19, so I don't want her to be jumping around and stuff. But she used to go completely crazy over this, which I thought she would be a little more active, which is why I was filming it. But I swear cats just know when you want them to do something. But I mean, for a 19-year-old cat, she does still play pretty decently with it. So I was hoping okay, maybe if we just play with this for a little while, she'll get really tired and pass out. But yeah, I didn't want to, she used to be able to jump to the top of door frames when I would point it. Actually, she used to, just for a fun pastime, she would jump to the top of door frames, but then she'd get stuck up there. It's one of the things that she's famous for. Some of our friends will be remember when Marley used to jump to the top of the door frames? And it was just you had to get a chair to get her down because it was just high enough that you couldn't fully grab her. But yeah, she'd jump up there and then start crying. But yeah, so I was, playing with her, and I pointed it out to the hallway, thinking maybe I could get her to run up and down the stairs. That's what I used to do with her, but now that she's older, I don't want to do it that much. But I thought maybe I could get her to run down once or twice, and that might tire her out. So I went out in the hallway with it. It's dark out there, obviously, but I realized that she wasn't moving, and then when I turned the light on, I realized that I had put her food out there for the night. She'd just gone out and realized there's food and just started eating. So my plan definitely did not work, but even though she was out there eating, I gave her treat anyway. And while I was decorating, I had got all the Easter decorations out the day before, I think it was. I had found all of these Easter golden books that I had been collecting. I always feel I'm going to decorate with these. I see other people do it and it looks cute, but I feel I can never get it to look the way I would want it, or I don't know. So I think I used one this year, which I wasn't even fully crazy about, but so I might end up just selling those. And then I also found these bunnies that I didn't decorate with, but this style of bunny was really popular when I was a kid in the 80s, with the little plastic multicolored baskets. I didn't see a year on them, but I was thinking maybe I should just put those up for sale too, because I don't think I'm going to decorate with them. I haven't done it for quite a few years, so. I've been loving using the salt lamp every night, but there is a section, it's really humid where we live, so there's a section of it that looks like it's just crumbling and melting, so I'm a little concerned about that, but it just gives such like good ambient lighting in the room before bed. So we made it through the night. I actually didn't end up getting that great of a sleep. I did use the earplugs though, so that probably helped some, but I just kept waking up like every hour, I think. So I didn't really feel too sick though. I just felt tired. So Marley is such a small, cute cat, but she's part Siamese as well. And if you've ever heard a Siamese meow, you know what I'm talking about. Well, that's what our cats sound like. So yeah, very tiny cat, but she has a very loud meow, and I don't know, I feel like Siamese meows are like just very different than a normal cat's meow. It is very, very loud, like ear-piercingly sharp, and it goes on for a long time. So even with earplugs in, I could still hear her meowing. So I don't know what her problem is lately. She just wants company. So John was coming over again on this day just to hang out with me. So John had also purchased like sub buns at the store because we had a bunch of vegetables, and like he had bought that meat too. So I just made us a homemade sub, and we were watching movies in the basement again. So we're watching the movie Ice Age. We hadn't seen it in a long time. We were thinking about watching, there's like been one released fairly recently, like in the past couple of years. So we were like, oh, maybe we should watch them all again. So John had to go back to the house to check on the cats after that. So I was just in the little video store, and Marley like came popping through the curtain because she heard me in there. So it was funny. So I just picked her up and gave her a little love. She hates being picked up though. She's always like trying to get away. So we were just hanging out in there. I think I was looking for movies to watch for the next week. But then she interrupted me. Oh, I know. John had gone to check on the cats, but then he also went and got us a latte and these cookies. They're like cranberry peanut butter, which sounds like it wouldn't be good together. At least that's what I thought, but they're really, really good from this coffee shop that's like 15-ish minutes from us. So then we ended up just watching another Ice Age movie. I think we might actually watch one today too. They're like so cute. And Marley came down again, which I don't know if she's meowing now, so I don't know if you'll be able to pick that up, but yeah. I don't know if you can hear her or not because she's downstairs while I'm recording this, but she's meowing. She was up here on the bed. It's because she hears me talking, but I'm not paying attention to her, so she'll get to the point where she's mad about it. She also gets in this position when she gets mad at me, like she'll turn her back to me. I'm not sure why, but then after a while she won't be able to stay down there anymore and she'll come up. I love that so many of you write in the comments and say that you love Marley and you love seeing Marley, because I feel like I take so much video of Marley. And then this was the next morning, and I thought she was so cute right up in John's spot. She was purring so loud too. She just gets so happy just for me to come back to bed like that. And I don't know, I guess it's because she doesn't really like being picked up, or so she likes cuddling, but like from a distance, I guess. Maybe in the bed the best. Oh, I'll usually just, I can only do this when John's not here, but I'll usually just read, or sometimes I watch an episode of Dynasty. But after that, while I was drinking my coffee, I started to make a big to-do list since I had been feeling sick the last 2 days. I didn't like clean like I normally would. And whenever I'm more of an everyday cleaner. I know some people like to just do it in like one day or something. I feel like I need to do it every day, and when I can't, it like bugs me a lot. So whenever I have those moments, I feel like I need to make a big list. I usually just make a list for every single room in the house. So I just completely filled that sheet with all of the things that I wanted to do that day. So, but that's the good thing about getting up early is like you can be up for hours, but then it's still like really early before you start doing anything. So I got to work right away, doing some laundry, taking up this basket so I can fill it with towels, and then I'm also needing to fill up the stevia. So I keep my stevia in this little jar. I'm not sure who made this jar or not, but it almost reminds me, like with the tulips on it, of the Fire King tulips that everyone's crazy about. I just think it's cute. It's like the perfect size for the stevia packs. So it was another day to reevaluate the fridge and what was in there, what needed to get used. And John had brought over some groceries like the same day that he brought the subs. And one of the things he found was this Just Egg in a carton, which it used to come in like a bottle, and now the carton is bigger. So I was very excited because sometimes it's very hard to find. And I wanted to make brunch for Easter, so for like a couple of weeks ahead of time, I was like, we need to look for Just Egg so that we make sure we have it. And then while I was cleaning the fridge, I forgot that I had got this, and it was open already, but it's like I drink Zevia, which is like no sugar soda, but it's really just water flavored like soda. But I just found these in my local grocery store, but I had opened it and like forgot about it. It had been like a couple of weeks, I think. So I was like, oh, I should see if it's still carbonated, and it actually was. It's a weird thing with Zevia. I don't know if like that has something to do with it, but I can open a can of Zevia and like leave it in the fridge for 2 days open, and it will still be semi-carbonated. It's weird. I feel like with regular soda that would never happen. And then I made these to-do lists for my planner, so I was cutting those and punching them. And then John came over to pack orders at lunchtime because it was Monday. And I made us a sub again with the last 2 remaining sub buns. And yeah, so we just packed orders together. And then Marley was not on her pink blanket, so I thought it was a good time to get that washed. You could kind of, I don't know how well you could see in the video, but you can kind of tell it starts to look almost like a gray color from her fur just accumulating on it. But she sleeps on it every single day, so it's very hard to get it washed because I don't want to like disturb her or make her move. So this day was a perfect day to get that washed. And then I finally decided to make the banana bread because the bananas had been in there for a few days. I couldn't find my metal loaf pan, so I just decided to make it in this glass one from Pyrex. Made a decaf coffee, but I'd never made banana bread in a glass dish before. So I felt like it got really dark, like darker than normal, even though I put it in for the same amount of time, same recipe. So eventually it was looking really dark, but the middle part wasn't cooked. So eventually I had to just take a fork and like pull a piece of it out to make sure that it was fully cooked. So anyway, it was really great. It was just like harder and crispier than normal, but I had that with my coffee that day. So we're just hanging out, watching TV together. It's so weird because usually she's like upstairs sleeping for most of the time. So then we got a knock on the door, which I was expecting an Amazon package, so I knew what it was. They usually just knock on the door and leave it. But as soon as I opened the door, the little kitty started running over, which is so cute. So I went outside for a little bit with the cat. But it was just Marley's food. She likes this food with gravy, but they only have one kind. But then I found this brand, and it has, or not brand, I found this pack with 2 other kinds of it. So she always approaches her food like it's poison though. Like, it's so funny. I don't know why, but And then, so I had some towels to fold, but I had also washed the sheets, but I just hang those to dry, like in the house if I can't hang them up outside. So on that night, I went to visit John where he was staying because he was staying with 3 cats. He stayed with them quite a few times. So this cat is Lucy. I just wanted to hang out with the cats, really. But this is Lucy. She just stays in this one room. I guess she just doesn't want to be around the other cats. But she's a really friendly cat, but she just kind of stays in here by herself. So it was very interesting. And then this is King Richard. He's very spoiled and he loves attention and he's very jealous if you give attention to any of the other cats. But he's so sweet and so loving. It's very cute. Reminds me a little bit of Jimmy. It's like gray coloring. I think I've shown these cats on Instagram before, but I don't know if I've shown them on my channel or not. Maybe briefly one time. Fairly recently he's stayed with them, but usually like at least once a year. And then this is King Henry. I love Henry so much. He's so huge. But he's like a gentle giant, but he has really big paws. He has like extra toes on his paws, so they're like massive. He's a pretty big cat. Even without the extra toes, his paws are pretty big. I think I like try to get a close-up of them, but I could just stay in here and pet this cat like all day. He was so cute. But of course I wasn't in there very long petting Henry before Richard noticed and he jumped up on the bed like the jealous cat he is. He's like, hey, I want my pets too. So cute. I honestly love cats so much. The day that I came over here was actually the day that I uploaded my first video in like I think a month or something. And it had been like a couple hours and I didn't look to see if anyone commented, and then I did open it while I was there. And I could see like the first comment. It wasn't a mean comment, but it was like what I would classify as an unnecessary comment. And so I was just instantly annoyed by it because like I had just in that video been talking about like how I was feeling, and so I was like, really, this is the first thing I see? Is this a sign? Is this a sign that I'm like correct and maybe I just shouldn't make videos anymore? So I just instantly closed that out because I was like, I don't need this energy in my life right now. I'm just gonna hang out with these cats and we'll see. I think I didn't look at the comments for at least a full day. So if you commented and I didn't respond for a long time, that's why I was just like, I'm not even gonna look at the comments. But this place we're done staying, it's almost like kind of a resort-ish type place. I don't know if you can kind of see there's like other buildings, but obviously it's like right by the water. It's like super zen vibes. So it's really cool. The resort isn't like open during this time of year, so that's usually why they take vacation. It was raining out though, and Richard was not happy. He looked like he wanted to go outside, but he didn't want to go out and get wet. These cats eat those same like little tube treats that I've shown myself giving Marley before. They eat like a different brand, but they just eat dry food, but then they get these little treats like a couple times a day. So John was giving them their evening one, and I cannot believe how fast they ate it. I was like in shock. Marley's such a slow, finicky eater. But yeah. So even to get food and stuff, John has to just take it out there for Lucy because she's just in that room. I think he said one time she like kind of stepped foot into the kitchen when he was getting food and he was like, whoa. But other than that, she just stays in there. And so John made us some food while I was over there. He just made some vegan chicken nuggets and fries, which I love plant-based chicken nuggets. They're so good. I mean, I want to say they taste exactly the same, but it's been a really long time since I had meat, so they might not taste exactly the same. And I just brought over some sweet and sour sauce from home in those little containers, and I was having a black cherry Zevia. And then John also had these chips here, which are really good. And I'm showing the ingredients because there's this weird thing that happens in, I'm gonna say, the online vegan community, where if you ever wonder why vegans make a point to say ingredients and things like that, it's because other vegans, it's like a pastime for a lot of vegans to like nitpick other vegans, or like we call it vegan policing. So a lot of times that's why I say things that I do. It's because if you don't say it, other people will. I don't even understand it, to be honest. It's like such a weird thing, but it's very prominent within, I'm going to say, the online community, because I doubt people would speak that way in person to someone, but apparently it's very important to other vegans for some unknown reason. Personally, I don't give a shit what other people are doing or not doing. If something's vegan or not, I don't care, but that is why I say it. So like if I would have just said, oh, we were eating chicken nuggets, somebody would say, I thought you were vegan. Like, it's so stupid. But in any case, it's literally why I used to have a vegan YouTube channel and I stopped having that channel. It's because of, like, that's what I consider an unnecessary comment. So I do apologize if you find it annoying, because I'm sure that it probably could be annoying, but that is why, in a lot of cases, I think vegans tend to over explain things and show ingredients just to like try to prevent people from commenting in that way. But yeah, I personally don't care if people are vegan or not. I feel like life is too short to worry about what other people are doing. Just don't care. Anyway, so now I'm back home with Marley, and I usually put the pillowcases over the closet doors, which Marley loves because that means she can get into the closets and root around. Not that there's anything in there, but she seems to like it. Probably because the doors are usually shut, I guess, so she feels like she's going somewhere she's not allowed. Which I guess technically she isn't, but I mean, there's nothing in there, so it doesn't really matter. I did get her treat right away, and I do actually feel really bad when I do leave the house, because since John's been working from home and I haven't had like a traditional job, obviously like there's somebody always here with her generally, so I do feel really bad when I'm not here with her, especially at night, because it's like getting dark and she's probably wondering where I am. I do think that she probably has like some form of separation anxiety, because she definitely does not enjoy being by herself. So anyway, I had not watched that day's episode of General Hospital, so I just got in bed with her since I had been gone and watched that before bed. So the next day I woke up feeling great. I had done like a ton of cleaning the day before. I'd gotten all decorated for Easter. I think I had like filmed the Easter video. So I woke up and made my coffee. Marley was still in here sleeping, and I think it was raining that day, so it was like, oh, I'm gonna have a cozy day. So I lit a candle. I had like, I think a week or two's worth of Dynasty episodes that I hadn't watched, and I thought today is the perfect day to do all those photos. I'll put Dynasty on in the background, and this will be a great time. So I got that going, had my coffee, Marley was chilling with me, just felt great. So my printers were all charged from the other day, so then I got out all of the film, started loading the film, and I cleaned the photo album and like took the stickers off and stuff. But yeah, I just determined that I would do 2021, just where it was a half a year in that one, and then I could do 2022 and 23 in the other 2 books, and then I'll have to start looking for some more. I honestly can't believe that it's 2024 and we're already like into April. It like blows my mind when I think that 2014 was 10 years ago. Like my brain, it's like the math doesn't add up in my brain or something. I'm like, no, that can't be. Every single time I have that thought. But the film is actually so easy because it just comes in these cartridges that you just pop in. I was trying to do it one-handed and film at the same time, so it looks like it's harder or takes longer, but it has this little yellow line on it, so you know exactly the right way to put it in. You basically can't mess it up at all. Except if you're trying to do it one-handed. I was supposed to put like the one side down in first and then it just pops in, but in any case, and then as soon as you close it, it just automatically starts. It will spit out the little plastic cover part and then you're like ready to go. So it's very user-friendly, and to use these, it's just like an app on your phone. Now I thought it would be just like one app for all of them, but actually each printer has a different app. But I mean, that's not the biggest deal, but I will say these 2 newer ones that I got are a lot like easier to use than the first one, which I think I got that back in 2019 or 2020, so it's been a few years. I mean, it still works great. It's just like the app for the 2 new ones is just so much quicker and faster than the other one. So maybe it's just technology improvements, but it's still really great. It doesn't make me want to get like a newer one because this one works fine. But the one thing I will say is with this one, all those dots represent photos, so you can just easily see without having to look in the app how many photos you have left. But so once I got it all set up, and then I had extra film to use as well, which is great. And for some reason, I don't think you have to do this, but just out of force of habit, I'm like flipping them over while they're developing. But I don't even know if you technically had to do that with the original Polaroids, but I don't know, it's just a habit. Just flip them over, and I was looking at them thinking I probably don't even need to do that, but it was just an automatic thing that I just flipped them over. So then I was making a coffee, and I started to think about the Amazon package that I got, and I was like, wait a minute, didn't I order like glasses to watch the eclipse? So I went down in the basement while that was brewing and picked up the package, and they were in the bottom. I just didn't notice them because they're so light. So I was very happy that recycling hadn't gone out because they weren't exactly cheap for a pair of cardboard glasses, but we'll see. But anyway, I basically spent the whole day doing this. Well, yeah, it did take a while actually because I had to go through all the photos on my phone and like pick the ones that I was going to print and all that. So, but it was so great. I'm so happy I did it. I feel like it was the first step in like getting over this like mental block that I've had about doing this. So it was really awesome. Like I said, I just kind of doing like sort of the highlights of just different things. But yeah, so I did end up finishing 2021 except for Christmas because I ran out of film. So I ended up using all the film, but I got all the other months done, like my birthday, John's birthday, and a bunch of photos of Marley. So anyway, it was just so fun. I'm so happy I did it. I just have to get some more film to continue on, but I think I'm going to try to make it like a weekly thing that I do every week, maybe, to just start working on it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this one was pretty long, but a lot of you say that you like the long ones. I'm definitely a long video person as well, so I can relate. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all of the sweet comments that I've been getting. it just means a lot to me to know that there are people who do really enjoy, because sometimes if you're getting like kind of some shitty comments, you start to think, do people care about this? Do people like these videos? I don't know. So just hearing that was very like, it just made me feel good. It's like, okay, I'm not going crazy. People do actually enjoy these. I definitely didn't say all of that so that people would comment nice things. Like, it's not why I said it, but it is definitely appreciated. I really just wanted to be like super real with you about how I was feeling and like why I wasn't uploading. But I definitely feel like I'm going to keep uploading. I was unsure about whether or not I wanted to upload Thrift With Me videos anymore, because those are the videos that get the most like complaining comments, is what I'm going to call them. It's not, I should have worded it better too, because a lot of people I think that I get mean comments all the time. It's not, mean comments are not the majority of the comments that I'm talking about. The majority are just people complaining about like a specific thing and wanting me to change things about my videos. And to be honest, I'm just going to be 100% myself and do what I want to do. So I'm not changing to try and please people. That's just like a bad idea in general in life. So I'm definitely not going to do that. I personally don't care whether I get a lot of views or a little bit of views. I'd rather people just watch who enjoyed. And if that's like 50 people, then that's cool. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling now, but thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate all the support, and I will see you again very soon.